neath the wings of the bluebird as she sings. The 6 o'clock alarm would never ring, but it rings and I rise, wipe the sleep out of my eyes. My shaven razor's cold and it stings. Cheer up, sleepy Jean, oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? You once thought of me as a white knight on his steed. Now you know how happy I can be. Oh, and our good time starts and ends without dollar one to spend. But how much, baby, do we really need? Cheer up, sleepy Jean, oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen? Cheer up, sleepy Jean, oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen?
My name's Mark, I live in Liverpool. I'm a carpenter cabinet maker and I like racing cars.
So how many years you've been into cabinet making? And can you describe your journey?
My journey?
Yeah, your cabinet making journey.
Well, it's all I ever wanted to do when I was in school. Growing up, just wanted to work with wood. And I've been coming in the workshop since I was 6 years old. So that's now 46 years. Been coming in here. Obviously left school, came here full time, learned the ways of my dad, and then just carried on.
What's the most fun you've ever had making a piece?
A piece of furniture or...
Anything?
It's not really fun, I wouldn't say fun, just achievements, you know, very tricky jobs. I did a staircase about 4 or 5 years ago, but I had to cover a 100-year-old staircase, copy it in oak with all curved mouldings and round mouldings and everything was curved, and I had to just make everything and lay it over the other staircase. So the original staircase was underneath, and that's probably one of my biggest achievements in making something. Plus I had 2 years to think about how I was going to do it, because a lot of it was done by hand. You couldn't, there's just no way of doing it on the machines, the way the machines work. So that was probably one of the jobs I'm most proud of. And basically, you know, when you finish a job, just stand back and look at it and appreciate that you've made it, rather than how much you got for making it. You know, to have proper passion in doing it and to do it properly.
lightning. You ready?
Oh yeah, lightning's ready.
Hello! Mark? Mark, see that driver in the wheel? Push.
Right, so
So, tell us your name, where you're from, what you do.
I'm Chris, part of Team Mojo, live in Widnes, work and speak as an engineer.
Can you talk us through some of the emotions going through your own head during the day of your race?
So in my race, well, I raced in the top class, the fastest class, so the most powerful cars. So sometimes it did get a bit hairy, you know, very, I wouldn't say nervous, just apprehensive maybe, because, you know, when at that speeds I was doing, if something goes wrong, you know, it'd be a lot worse, but thankfully no major injuries. And same again, you know, just, you know, excitement for the day. It's always excitement. It's exciting on racing day, you know, knowing that you're going to have that adrenaline pumping and driving round and rubbing up against cars and fighting for wins. It's just a buzz. It's just a buzz.
Have you had any accidents or near accidents during your racing?
Oh yeah, many accidents. Rolled the car a few times. I remember in my first year racing, I had a really bad accident actually.
From what I remember is, it was at the top of the track, coming onto the home straight, right on the corner, and we couldn't really see that clearly, but there was a big impact, like, you know what I mean? Obviously, car spun, Mark's hit it.
And it was all dusty and he was disorientated, didn't know which way he was pointing, so he just put his foot down and came into the corner the wrong way, and I came through the dust, didn't see him, he just had a head on at about, well, 45 my speed, 30, so about 70 miles an hour, you know, closing impact, which I had a full harness on, and my head still hit the steering wheel. I was bruised. The engine came into the car, came in, it was totaled the car over, totaled it.
But the car wasn't really up to our normal spec, because when we was building it, we was finding things wrong, so we was fixing it as we went along. So yeah, the car wasn't as good as what we normally got, like, no.
You know, in Team Mojo spirit, 2 weeks later we had another car prepared racing that, you know. Never missed a race, as well, we never missed a race. No matter what broke on the cars, engines, cars destroyed. After work we'd go at night and work in a garage and get the cars ready.
How did Team Mojo originate, and what was the inspiration for the name?
Well, the inspiration of the name came from Mark, and I don't know where he come up with it from, but it was quite a good thing actually, because my dad used to be chief engineer at Taverners where Mojos were made, and I was actually responsible for making Mojo suites smaller in the engineering shop what I work at.
What's the biggest race you've ever won? Is it like endurance racing, or have you done?
Probably an endurance race we did, yeah. That was an endurance race, because even though you're doing your class racing, and you know it's only 4 races every week, every couple of weeks, that was fun. But the endurance races were like 5 or 8 hours non-stop racing, so if the car broke you had to fix it, you know, straight away if you could. You know, the odd time we couldn't, you know, certain things broke that just were not able to fix at the trackside, so we had to retire. but we got positioned quite a few times, and then we actually won the very, very final race that was ever raced at the racetrack. In a 5-hour endurance race, we completed the most laps in 5 hours over rough terrain. We actually got the car out of a scrapyard. Someone had scrapped the car, and went to the scrapyard and told them we needed a car. So we said, well, that one's come in, take that. And it, apart from putting a bit of a cage in it and painting it, we didn't do anything to it. And in 5 hours, we never got one puncture, lost any water, didn't have to pop the bonnet once, and the car was just amazing. Just for 5 hours, got driven, so rough, and it survived. And that was a Nissan Micra, which was fantastic.
Have you got any children, and have they followed in your footsteps?
I have 2 daughters. One daughter raced in the juniors for 2 years when she was 10 till 12, and she was very successful. You know, I sat next to her, I built her the car, but then after 2 years the club folded. They sold track, the land, and it went, and we never found another place close by to do it. So miss it slightly, but miss the racing, don't miss the preparing the cars and getting everything ready and all the mess and the mud. I don't miss that anymore.
In what ways did you prepare her for a race?
Well, basically, don't let anyone come past you, put your foot down, just hold on for dear life. Sometimes round the corners, you know, it was muddy. You know, just pep talk. It was never really high speed, so, you know, even with my daughter, you know, we rolled twice in the car, had the car on its roof, you know, but it was only slow speed. And the first time it rolled, I was worried about her, and she was just laughing because she was hanging upside down, strapped into her car, which was quite funny hearing her laugh, you know, a relief because she wasn't scared, couldn't wait to get going again.